Hi students, we are dealing with rotational dynamics in which circular motion we already seen. Now let's start the rotational motion. So what is rotational motion? Motion of a object about an axis, that is called rotational motion. Suppose this is any body, any irregular shaped body. This body is rotating about this vertical axis like this. Then motion of this body is rotational motion. Example we can take. Earth is rotating about itself. When Earth rotating about itself, then Earth required 24 hours for completing one rotation. Okay. Now in rotational motion, we have to calculate the kinetic energy of rotating body. Before that, suppose any body is in linear motion or translational motion, then kinetic energy of the body in translational motion is given by half m v square. This is the kinetic energy of body in translational motion, where m is mass of the body and v is the linear velocity or translational velocity of the body. Now we have to calculate rotational kinetic energy of the rotating body. Consider a rigid body which is rotating about an axis which is passing through the body. If this body is rotating with angular velocity omega, okay, now this body consists of large number of particles. Suppose this is first particle of mass m1, this is second particle of mass m2, third particle of mass m3, and suppose this is nth particle having mass mn. This body consists of large number of small particles having masses m1, m2, m3, dash 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 are given. If capital M is total mass of the body, also let's consider first particle m1 is at distance r1 from axis of rotation of the body. Second particle m2 is at distance r2 from axis of rotation of the body. Also third particle is at distance r3, and finally last particle n particle is at distance in from the axis of rotation of the body. But it is noted that all the distances r1, r2, r3, r4, rn, all the distances are perpendicular from axis of rotation to the position of the body. As body rotating with angular velocity omega, so each particle of the body is also rotating with same angular velocity omega. Angular velocity of each particle will remain same, but the linear velocity of the particle or translational velocity of the particle is different. So let's say v1 be the linear velocity of first particle, v2 be the linear velocity of third particle, v3 be linear velocity of third particle, and vn be linear velocity of last particle. Okay, getting linear angular velocity of each particle remains same, but linear velocity is different. Also, when this body is rotating, then each particle m1, m2, m3, each particle of body performs a circular motion. Okay, hence the linear velocity of each particle is given by v1 is equal to r1 omega. Okay, this is linear velocity of first particle. Linear velocity of second particle is given by v2 is equal to r2 omega. Linear velocity of third particle will v3 is equal to r3 omega. In this way, linear velocity of last particle will get Vn is equal to Rn omega. Okay, that's V is equal to R omega. This is the relation between linear velocity of particle and angular velocity of the particle. As each particle is circulating with certain velocity, so each particle possesses kinetic energy. So kinetic energy of each particle is given by E1 is equal to half m1 v1 square. This is kinetic energy of first particle. Now kinetic energy of second particle E2 is equal to half m2 v2 square. Kinetic energy of third particle E3 is equal to half m3 v3 square. In this way, kinetic energy of last particle, that is n particle, is half mn vn square. Okay, this is kinetic energy of each particle, but each particle is performing linear motion. Okay, sorry, each particle has linear velocities v1, v2, v3 to vn. Now we can substitute values of linear velocity into the equations of kinetic energy. If we substitute v1 is equal to r1 omega, then we get half m1 r1 square omega square. Similarly, half m2 r2 square omega square. In third equation, we get half m3 r3 square omega square, and ultimately kinetic energy of last particle we get half mn rn square into omega square. In all the equations, mass of each particle is different. The distance of each particle from axis of rotation is different, but angular velocity of each particle is same. Okay, these equations representing kinetic energy. But we are going to calculate rotational kinetic energy of entire body. So, but rotational kinetic energy of body is given by kinetic energy rotational is given by kinetic energy of first particle plus kinetic energy of second particle plus kinetic energy of third particle up to kinetic energy of last particle. If we substitute all the values, then we get rotational kinetic energy is equal to half m1 r1 square omega square plus half m2 r2 square omega square plus half m3 r3 square omega square plus half mn rn square omega square. Okay, we can take half and omega square as a common, so we get m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square plus mn rn square. Okay, half and omega square, these are the common terms. Into bracket we have calculated m1 r1 square plus, sorry, we have taken into bracket m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square plus m3 r3 square. up to mn rn square. Okay, so if we take summation of this term, let m1 r1 square plus m2 r2 square let's take summation of these terms, summation of mi ri square, where I runs from 1 to n. Okay, instead of this bracket we can write summation of mi ri square. Then this summation is called as let's assign this summation kinetic energy rotational is equal to half summation of mi square mi ri square into omega square. Now instead of this summation we can write here kinetic energy of rotating body is equal to half I omega square. Okay, this is the kinetic energy of rotating body, where I is summation of mi ri square. Okay, getting this equation, kinetic energy of rotating body, we get half I into omega square. But initially kinetic energy of body in translational motion, this kinetic energy is given by half mv square. If we compare both the kinetic energy of rotating body and kinetic energy of body in translational motion, then linear velocity or translational velocity in translational motion is replaced by angular velocity in rotational motion. Okay, also mass of the particle in translational motion is replaced by the term I. Mass of particle is replaced by the term I, and this I is called as moment of inertia. I is called moment of inertia. Okay, this is the new physical quantity, moment of inertia. When the body is in rotational motion, then body possesses moment of inertia. Now we are not dealing with only the mass of the body, but we are dealing with moment of inertia of the body, and that moment of inertia is given by I is equal to summation of mi ri square, where mi is the summation of all the masses, ri is the perpendicular distances for all the particles from axis of rotation. So we can write I is equal to capital M into r square, where capital M is equal to summation of mi and capital R is equal to summation of ri square. Okay, this is the moment of inertia of the rotating body. Okay, get it? Also here we can say that mass in translational motion is replaced by moment of inertia and rotational motion. So mass in translational motion and moment of inertia in rotational motion are analogous physical quantities.